Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for being here. It's my great honor and privilege to be able to introduce His Grace RadheShyam Prabhu. We're very grateful to have Prabhu here in Dallas visiting with us. I think many of you know Prabhu very well, but for those that don't, RadheShyam Prabhu is the temple president of ISKCON Pune in India. He's the director of Vedic Oasis for Inspiration. And what I learned recently is that, part of this program now, there are 10,000 youth in India that are all chanting 16 rounds a day now as part of this program. Hari Bol. Prabhu is a youth counselor and corporate advisor, author of 5 series books on spirituality for the modern youth, author of famous 5-volume series on essence of Bhagavad Gita. He's internationally acclaimed for offering seminars on stress management, proactive leadership, time management, and self-management. We're very grateful that he chooses to come to Dallas every year, and we pray that he will continue to come here as often as possible and stay longer every time. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for being here. Let's all please take this opportunity to hear from Prabhu. So we are here, and we can be present in this room and get so much from Prabhu, or we can be present physically in this room, but mentally be somewhere else. So we can make that choice. So let's all please be present here. If you have a cellular device, please make sure it's on silent. And let's all hear from Prabhu. Thank you so much. Let's give a big Hari Bol. Hari Bol. His Grace RadheShyam Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, everybody together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कालचंद जी की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्यति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च, पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome all of you for the Sunday Feast lecture here at Sri Sri Radha Kalchandji's Lotus Feet. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. mahātmānas tumam pārtha, daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ, bhajanty ananya-manaso, jñātvā bhūtādim avyayam. We are reciting from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, shloka number 13. mahātmānas tumam pārtha, daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ bhajanty ananya-manaso jñātvā bhūtādim avyayam. O son of Pṛthā, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. So the divine nature is spiritual nature. And Mahatma is not under the control of material nature, he says. And how is this affected? This is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. In the 7th chapter, there is another verse where there is one more word, Devi, is mentioned there. You all can repeat that after me. Daivīṁ yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya māmeva ye prapadyante māyāmetāṁ tarantite. In this verse also there is a word Devi, and in that verse also there is a word Devi. But that is material Devi, this is spiritual Devi. Let us see what is the difference today. We will see that. So there he says, Daivīṁ esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. That Devi, her name is personified material energy. Her name is Durga. In Sanskrit, the word Durg means fort. Imagine if somebody is arrested in a fort, they cannot come out on their own unless they are released. But most amazing thing with Durga Devi is, we don't see any walls all around us. Still we don't want to get out of this world. You can see that in this world everybody is busily occupied by Durga Devi's 3 ropes called as Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. So she has kept all the living beings super busy in these 3 gunas in this world. Once upon a time, scientists were conducting an experiment with rats moving around. So they had 3 platforms. So if the rat would beat the first platform, it was a chill winter season, just like now. So some puff of hot air would come, like that air would come. Again, this rat would tell everybody else, all of you beat this platform and get the hot air. Part, they would beat, like that air would come. They all enjoyed the hot air. Then they tried the second one, beat the second platform. And one piece of butter will fall from the top. So they ate the butter. Now they understood, first platform gives hot air, second one gives some butter to eat. So third platform they were beating, and that was giving electric shock. So they got shocked. So now all of them said to each other, don't touch the third one. Other 2 are all right. And after some time the scientists changed the polarity. So the first one was giving shock. So now the rats were going round and round finding out which one gives shock and which one gives butter, which one gives hot air and all that. Now when the scientists opened the door, none of the rats wanted to come out. Because they became busy in finding out where I get butter, where I get hot air, and like that. Similarly, all of you will have experience. To have a baby for a couple is a joyful thing. But then after getting baby, after some time they get sometimes problems also. In this world, it's a world of pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat, profit and loss. So, this was giving me, hot air, now it's giving shock now. The same thing which gave us pleasure at one time, they give us some pain. Then we try for pleasure somewhere else. So in this way we are jumping from 3 gunas, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna, going back and forth like this. Sometimes when one gets burnt by Rajoguna, then they want to come to Sattva-guna. Suddenly they come to temple and do meditation. Because they want relief from the pain. And they feel very nice. Oh, such a soothing temple. such a soothing spiritual atmosphere. But then after some time, mind again says, again I want to try out the old pleasures. So people are just like a pendulum in this world, they're struggling to enjoy these three gunas. So much so busy that they don't want to get out of the world. Maya Devi keeps them bound. Mama Maya Dhuratyaya. Very difficult to overcome, he's saying, in this world. But then there Krishna gives a very hope-giving statement in the second line. Māmevaye prapadyante maya-metam tarantite. But those who take shelter of me, they can, come back to me, he says. So if you hear only the first line, one may get psychosomatic depression. Because Maya is very difficult to overcome, impossible to overcome, he says. But you should hear the second line, which is very hope-giving. He says, if you surrender to me, you can easily cross beyond it, he says. Now you may have a question, okay, how do we surrender to Krishna? That is explained in this verse. Here Krishna is telling that, as he says here, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. Here also he says, daivīṁ prakṛtim āśritāḥ. Who is this Devi? This Devi is Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani also offers shelter. Durga also offers shelter. Durga Devi offers material shelter. Srimati Radharani is offering spiritual shelter. So Durga has a trident in her hand. You have seen that? With which she is killing some demon. She is sitting on a lion and she is piercing a demon. You might have seen that. What is that Trishul or trident? It is the three types of miseries that we all experience. Miseries arising from body and mind, from other living entities, and from the devatas through the material nature. So, why does she inflict pain upon us in this world? Actually, God is not inflicting pain upon us. We get pain by our own actions. For example, if I throw a ball on the wall, the ball comes back to me. Correct, no? See how kind the Lord is visible when you look at the nature around you. For example, around the earth there is something called ozonosphere. You know that? What is ozonosphere? It actually prevents the ultraviolet radiation from coming from the sun into the earth. But foolish human beings, they create these automobiles which, emanate the carbon monoxide, which goes and depletes the ozone layer. So we have broken the ozone layer due to which UV radiation is coming. So it is God creating trouble or we are creating trouble? Yeah? We are creating trouble. So we are actually damaging that protective covering given by God and we are inviting trouble. I am just telling you one example. Similarly, when you dig the underground, all the petroleum products when you take out, for example, you make plastics, for example. They say that, everybody is eating in a month, like one visiting card size plastic we are swallowing every month. So much plastic is going into our system in the small particles. Therefore, many diseases are coming now. It's increasing. So in this way, we are making this world more a place of suffering by our own actions. So, therefore, why is that so? That is because the living beings do not know what is right, what is wrong, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Or some of them know what is right, still they want to do wrong. That kind of people are also there. So therefore, the material world is compared to smoke, and the spiritual world is compared to fire. So in a furnace, in a village, when they put a firewood, which one would you prefer, fire or smoke? Yeah, fire serves, smoke troubles. So the spiritual world is like fire, material world is like smoke. So when we come to material world, here you get a happiness, but happiness mixed with suffering. Like if somebody gives you sweet rice, but there are some stone particles, you won't be happy. When you're eating the sweet rice, very sweet, oh very nice, stone comes, you feel unhappy. So you want only sweet rice. If you want only sweet rice, you have to go to spiritual world. There only happiness. Whereas here it is mixed with suffering. That is material nature. Now you may ask, why is it that in material nature there is happiness mixed with suffering? And why is it so that in spiritual world there is only happiness? If you see, the spiritual world is characterized by living entities who are all lovers of God. And they are constantly keeping God in the center and serving Him. Like I heard that one time in Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, the sun, sometimes you will see that in Vrindavan, even today if you go to Vrindavan, the sun is hot sometimes. You wonder, it's a holy abode, why should it be so hot? It should be a very soothing climate, you think. But the sun is hot so that everybody can get service opportunity. How? When the sun became hot in Vrindavan, immediately, the wind started blowing slowly, thinking that let me go and serve the Lord, because Lord Krishna is standing with covered boys in the top of Govardhan, surrounded by cows and calves. So the wind started slowly moving. So Yamuna saw that wind is moving. She asked, "Hey wind, where are you going? Are you going to meet Krishna?" He said, "Yes. Can you please take some droplets of water from me?" So wind said, "Why not?" So the wind picked up some droplets of water and started moving ahead. Then when he was passing through the garden, the flowers asked, "Oh, my dear wind, can you do me a favor?" I said, "What do you want?" "Can you take some of my pollen also, so that Krishna feels fragrant? It will be nice." And the wind said, "Thank you for enriching my service. You are helping me to serve Krishna better." So in this way, wind carried that also. And then they started moving. And the wind started moving towards Govardhan. And then he went round and round. And Krishna smelled the fragrance of the pollen and the cool wind. Just like in a water cooler, you have air along with water particles. You feel very nice, isn't it? Especially in summer season. And Krishna and covered boys took a long breath and said, "Oh, wow, it's wonderful." They felt a very pleasant experience. Meanwhile, the clouds which were at the extreme end of the sky, they were thinking, "What are we doing? We are not doing any service." See, the Lord's body is getting hot by the heat of the sun. So they started gradually moving towards Vrindavan, and then they made a big umbrella above Krishna and covered boys. And they started drizzling. You all know drizzling, right? Drizzling, you like drizzling? When we were small children, whenever it's drizzling, we would go out of the house and play. Mom would shout, "Hey, come inside, you will get cold." You tell her, coming, but you'll never come inside. You enjoy fun, isn't it? When drizzling is very joyful, it is. So the clouds were drizzling and giving happiness to Krishna. And Krishna felt so happy, he started playing on his flute. So the clouds thought, I was so far away, now I have a double advantage. I am also able to render seva to Krishna. Plus I am hearing the sweet sound of his flute also. And the cloud was very happy. So one amazing phenomenon in this pastime is, Yamuna is supplying water. The garden flowers are supplying fragrance. But none of them want any credit for their service. Let the wind take the credit. We don't mind. Who gets the credit is not very important. But Krishna should be pleased. This is the point. Just like, for example, in a vegetable, when you make at home, you put salt in that, isn't it? If salt is perfectly put while eating the vegetables, people say, "Oh, vegetable is very good," they will say. Nobody will glorify the salt. And one day, in case the salt is little less, while eating vegetables, they will say, "Hey, where is the salt?" That means if salt is less, people will scold whom? If the salt is less, they will scold the salt. Why salt is not there? But if salt is appropriate, they will glorify whom? No, not the salt. Anybody says, "Today salt is very good," they will say? No. They will say, "Vegetable is good." Similarly, Krishna is telling his friends, "Oh, this wind is so wonderful. It's a fragrant wind and very nice, droplets of water, very nice." So, now neither Yamuna nor the flower is telling the wind, "Hey, make sure our names are recorded." You tell Krishna that I gave you water and he gave you fragrance. Nobody bothers about the credits in spiritual world. Tat sukhi sukhitvam means they get pleasure in Krishna's pleasure. They get pain in Krishna's pain. So when they saw Krishna is feeling heat, they felt pain. One day in our temple we were making chandan. You know sandalwood? We were making during the Chandan Yatra time. One visitor came and he said, "Why are you guys making this?" Devotee said, "We are going to apply it on the deity because it is summer season. Lord is feeling very hot." So that fellow said, "I thought you guys are making it apply on yourself." Are you not feeling hot? Yes. Devotee said, yes, we are also feeling hot. But we are confident that if we please the Lord, then we naturally become happy. And that man couldn't understand, how is that? How is it by pleasing the Lord you become happy? This is very cooling. Why don't you apply it yourself? Then I was passing by. I told him one famous verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Naivātmānaḥ prabhurayam nijalabha purno manam janāda vidusha karuno vrinite yatyajjano bhagavate vidadhītamanam tacchātmane pratimukhasya yatha mukhashrihi. Prahlad Maharaj is saying this verse, my dear Lord, Narasimha, he is saying that Naivātmānaḥ prabhurayam nijalabha purno. In this world people do not know, everybody tries to selfishly satisfy their senses. But what is it like? Imagine if I take a gulab jamun in my hands and do like this. Can my hand get nourishment by that? Hand cannot get nourishment. But if the hand puts it in the belly, then the hand gets nourishment. All of you look at your own body, all the senses are cooperatively working to fill up the belly. Like Prabhupada says one story from Panchatantra, he says that once all the senses came together on a strike, they said, hey, we are all working hard, but look at this stomach is not doing anything. That was their argument. The eyes said, I am the one who looks at the food. The nose said, I am the one who smells the food. Teeth said, you guys shut up, I am the one who crushes the food. And the tongue said, you may crush and give, but the food is not tasty, I will spit it out. So tongue said, I am more important. Everybody was talking about their own self-importance. And the hand said, if I don't pick and give, what you guys will do? And all of them said, yes, hand's job is very important. And the leg said, I am the one who take you all to the hotel. If I don't walk, hand also cannot pick up the food. How will verily pick it up from? Then all of them agreed, leg is doing a very, very vital job. Then they all said, one fellow is not doing any job. Who is that? Stomach. And he gets all the food. Now let us go on a strike. We will not give any food. So, when they all didn't give food to the stomach, guess what happened? The legs became weak, hands became weak, head was reeling. All of them realized that without feeding the belly, we are becoming weak. Then they all agreed, now let us serve the belly. So in the same manner, God is the center of the spiritual world. When actually you will see, when you put food in the belly, what happens if you see, scientifically if you see, that is converted into blood and taken to the heart and circulated to all the body. Just like you see, the sun is absorbing water from the ocean, but does it keep it with himself? What does the sun do? He gives it back as rains. It takes the water and gives back as rain. Similarly, the stomach takes all the food and gives it all back as nourishment to all the parts of the body. Similarly, when one keeps Lord in the center and you serve Him, you truly become happy. Prabhupada says in one place, when you go on a Rathayatra, all the devotees chant and dance in front of the chariot, correct, no? Lord's cart. If somebody feels some pain in the leg, they are also allowed to sit in the chariot, correct or not? You have seen some devotees sitting in the chariot? Correct? There is some provision for sitting also. And the Lord eats Rajabhog Prasad. After that, what He does? He gives it back to devotees. So Prabhupada says how wonderful the life of a devotee is. Devotee gets the best prasad. And devotees also get to travel with the Lord in the cart. Lord is so kind, He keeps devotees with Himself in the cart, if they feel the pain in the leg. So those who please the Lord, they will naturally attain happiness. Prahlad said an example in that shloka. He says, if a lady puts bindi, bindi means, what do you call this in English? Do you understand bindi? Yeah. When I said like that, everybody understood what it is. So when she puts here, in the mirror also you will find it, automatically it will come. If she puts a earring will come. If she puts a nose ring, it will come in the mirror. Because all the jivas are tiny reflections of Lord. So when you please the Lord, you will automatically be pleased. It's very natural. So that's what Prahlad said. Similarly, you will see when the devotee's life is centered around understanding what the Lord says and how to please Him. That is the spiritual world. They are called mahātmānas. Mahatma devotees are always thinking how to please the Lord. So those who please the Lord naturally become happy. For example, think about a small baby, 6 months old baby. Does the baby ask the mother, Mom, winter is coming, can you get me a sweater? Huh? Does the child ask? Huh? Who worries about the winter season? Mom. Same with devotees also. Devotees never ask the Lord, my dear Lord, can you give me this? Lord says, why are you asking me? I am already going to give you. So devotees have full confidence. Lord knows what I need. And Lord knows what is good for me. Lord knows what is not good for me. If He doesn't give me something, it's not good for me. If He gives me something, it's good for me. So devotees totally depend on the Lord. And they don't expect. On the contrary, devotees think of how to please the Lord. You see, at one time, in the Ramayana we read, when Lord Rama was in the forest, his good wife Sita was stolen away by one demon, whose name is Ravana. And when Sita was kept in Lanka, in arrest, under one Ashoka tree, she was not eating at all. She was constantly chanting Lord's names, remembering the Lord. At that time, Lord Rama naturally is worried that she is not eating anything. If one doesn't eat for many days, they will perish, no? So, Lord inspired Brahma, and Brahma in his heart thought that somehow I have to reach something to Sita. He called Indra and said, take this sweet rice, celestial sweet rice. Go and give it to Sita. So that if Sita eats this, for 1 year she doesn't have to eat. One cup you eat celestial sweet rice, for 1 year you don't have to eat at all. So then Indra changed his form to a Brahman's form, and then he goes to meet Sita. Sita was initially doubtful, but then she saw, his garland is fresh, he's standing above the ground level, there is no shadow which is falling, his eyes are not twinkling, all the symptoms of a demigod. She saw that. Then she accepted. So I was just thinking, Sita is constantly chanting Rama's names, and Rama is thinking how to send sweet rice to Sita. So you can see that in this way the devotee thinks of the Lord and Lord thinks of devotee. So we will be easily taken care if we just take care to do what the Lord tells us to do. It's for our good. That is spiritual world. Spiritual world, everyone and everything is centered around the Lord. Whereas in the material world, everybody is thinking of whom? Themselves only. Nowadays it's called as I, me, mine culture. Me culture. Me culture means everybody thinks about themselves. And that is causing all the stress and tension and quarrels. In all the relationships, the trust is getting weak nowadays. And doctor and patient. Because the patient is afraid that the doctor will ask. Sometimes you go to a hospital, they tell you to do different type of scans you have to do and everything. Lot of expenditure also. At the same time, the patient is afraid that the case shouldn't become more complicated. The trust between teachers and the students, trust between the family members. When does this become weak? When people become very selfish. People become money-minded and selfish. Then everybody develops distrust. But in the spiritual world, Lord, they keep the Lord in the center, and there is tremendous trust between Lord and the devotees. They are called Mahatma devotees. They are always chanting the names of the Lord and serving the Lord. That is spiritual world. So spiritual world is presided by Srimati Radharani, as you see here. What is Radharani holding in her hand? Just see. The left hand she is holding a flower, isn't it? In some temples you will see Radharani like this. In one hand she is having one bouquet. In the other hand she is holding a garland. So that garland she is going to put it on Krishna. And the bouquet is for welcoming her children who are us, all of us. So we are all like children of Radha and Krishna, part and parcels of Krishna. All of us are part and parcels of Krishna. Krishna says that in 15.7 Bhagavad Gita. Mamayavamsho jiva loke jiva bhūta sanatana. And all of us in our heart, we are carrying love for God, which is a small drop of Radharani's ocean of love. She has ocean of love and we have drop of love. And Krishna is the full manifestation of Godhead and we are his tiny part and parcels. So while Srimati Radharani is serving Krishna with oceanic love, all of us tiny part and parcels, we are carrying little love and running around trying to serve the Lord in our own way. Is it clear? So in this way, so what we have to do, we are also Shakti, Radharani is also Shakti. But what is the difference? She is the Supreme Shakti. He is called Bhagavan, she is called Bhagavati. He is Shaktiman and Shakti. So we are tiny Shaktis. So we have to connect with her and ask her, please mother, teach me how I should serve Krishna. So Prabhupada says, if you pray to Srimati Radharani, she will guide you, and she is already guiding you through your spiritual master, in the line, disciplic line. So we have to just learn how to render service. The word Radha comes from ananya-radito nunam bhagavan haririshwaraha, which means she is always doing aradhana. She is serving Krishna by singing, by dancing, by mimicking, by cooking, by different kinds of 64 type of skill sets. She is rendering service to the Lord. So, in this way, spiritual world is bustling with activity, with blissful spiritual activity, where the jivas are delightfully engaged in Lord's service in different rasas like that. So, as I told you, she has a garland to offer to Krishna, and she has got a bouquet to welcome us, isn't it? On the other hand, Mother Durga has a trishul. Imagine you go to a meeting, do they show a trident to you or a bouquet to you? Isn't it? Imagine if they show a trident, what does it mean? Don't come for the meeting. Get out, correct, no? Generally they give you a bouquet when you go to a meeting, isn't it? So to welcome you, they also welcome you and give you a bouquet, isn't it? Similarly, Radharani is having a bouquet in the hand. What does it mean? She is welcoming all of us to the spiritual world. Oh, all of you jivas, please come. Vatsalyadi gunojvalam bhagavatim vande jaganmataram, it is said. She is having Vatsalya guna. Vatsalya means she attracts all of us by her motherly compassion. And she attracts Krishna by her devotional service. That is Srimati Radharani. She is a divine mother. She attracts everybody by her motherly compassion. Vatsalya. Ādim means many more qualities she has. But this is the main quality that is charming to the hearts of jivas. She is very compassionate. So, that means in the material world, you are shown trishul, trident. Get out of the material world. And spiritual world, welcome. Therefore, Prabhupada says we have to go back home, back to Godhead. Now you understand the reason why we have to go back home. In the material world, there is a combination of pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor. And I'll tell you the reason why this combination has come about. You see, the pure devotees of the Lord only want to serve the Lord. They have no other expectation. And the demons, like Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, all these demons, you will see, they only want to exploit all living beings. They want to exploit the Lord and exploit the living beings. So they want to exploit, these people want to serve. Pure devotees want to serve, and the demons want to exploit. But there are in-between people, like the demigods, they want to serve the Lord also, and they want some domination also. They like to lord over also, and they also want to serve the Lord. There's a combination. So therefore we say Nastik, Astik, Bhakta. 3 types of people. Na Asti means those who deny God and try to enjoy independently. They are asuras, demons. So demons are Nastik. And the pure devotees are called Bhakta. But in between there are Astik. Astik means what? You do some religion for getting something in return. So these people, pious people, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur calls them as pious materialists, he calls them. So there is an atheistic materialist, pious materialist and pure devotee. So what do you want to become? Pure. So if you are pure devotee, then you go back to Godhead and you have no more suffering in the material world. Krishna has given promise in many, many verses. You become a pure devotee, I will take you back to my abode. Like that he says. And if you are a demon, we terribly suffer in this world. But if you are pious materialist, we get both. Some happiness you get, some suffering you get. To the degree I have lording over mentality, to that degree I suffer. To the degree I have seva bhav, service mentality, to that degree I feel bliss. So what I should do? I should increase my service attitude and gradually shrink my material tendencies. Now let us understand what are those material tendencies. There are 3 material tendencies in this world. Proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership. 3 things. Proprietorship means people try to own. People try to own more and more place. Like you see, for example, Alexander, he wanted to conquer the whole world. He was enveloping all the lands all over the world. At the age of 29, he had conquered all the world. But by 32, he left the world. When Alexander left the world, before leaving he had written a note. He told his ministers that when you put me in the coffin, keep my 2 hands outside. So let people know that I am not carrying anything with me. And also send all the doctors with me to the graveyard, so let people know that none of the doctors could save my life. And send all the gold and silver, heaps of them, with me to the graveyard and then take it back. Let people know, no wealth will accompany me. These 3 things he said. So people try to possess gold and silver, possess land, everything. You can even become possessive of, one's relatives also. Like in India, for example, typically, when a mother gives her son in marriage to a girl, and the girl comes to the home, the mother is possessive of her son, and the wife is possessive of husband, and the husband is in between both, isn't it? Like Mridanga you saw, no? Like this. Isn't it? Both become possessive. So intelligent husband, what he will do? He will tell the mother, I am yours. When he goes to meet the wife, he will say, I am yours. Wife will say, always you should support me. Okay, I'll support you only. He tells mother, I support you only. So it's very difficult. So when you become possessive, there is a big fight at home. So this is proprietorship. And controllership means people try to dominate, boss over one another. You ask in any home, who is the boss? Man will say, naturally, I am the boss. I am the breadwinner. So I am the boss. I bring the money, isn't it? You ask the wife, she will say, hey, husband brings all the money and gives it to me. Therefore I am the finance minister. At home, I am the controller. You ask the children, they will say, if I give out a scream, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, all will come running. So I am in control. So everybody likes to be the boss in the material world. Actually, in spiritual world we are dasa-anudas. So material world is opposite. So this is a controllership mentality. Actually, even any of you sitting here, you ask yourself, somebody tries to control you, will you like it? You don't like control freaks. He will say, mind your own business. You don't like. These people become self-appointed advisors and they poke their nose in everyone's affairs. These people who like to boss. That is controllership. And enjoyership, like Hiranyakashipu wanted to be the pivot of the whole universe. He was so powerful at one time when he had performed penances. Whenever the sun would be hot, Hiranyakashipu would look at the sun and say, "Hey, why are you so hot?" He would twist his eyebrows. And the sun would immediately reduce his temperature and say, sorry sir. He was controlling. Can you imagine? When we find the sun very hot, we put air conditioner in our small room. That's all we can do. But this fellow controlled the sun. He controlled, god of wind, all the Vayu, Agni, Chandra, everybody he controlled. Very powerful personality. Yeah. So he was the pivot of the whole universe, he thought. He told everybody, don't chant God's name, you should chant only my name. Om Hiranyakashipu Namah. Like that he told everybody. So he was controlling all the people of the population. Alexander was trying to control only the earth. But Hiranyakashipu wanted to be the enjoyer of the whole upper, middle and lower planets. But just see what happened to him. At the end, Lord Narasimha came out of the pillar and finished him. So you will see these are the 3 impurities in our heart. Proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership. Now a question for all of you. These 3 can be made equivalent to corresponding 3 base qualities. Krishna calls them as 3 gateways to hell. Okay? Lust, anger, greed. Okay, proprietorship matches with which one? Lust, anger, greed. Proprietorship matches with which one? Greed. Exactly. Greed for possessing more and more. What is lust? Lust means I want. That's lust. Greed means I want more. Just like if you get M&M. You know M&M? Children want M&M. But mother gives 1 or 2. Like when my first mother showed me the packet, I ate 1 or 2. I said, wow, what is this? Where does this come from? She showed the packet. I said, give me the packet, I'll take care. After 1 packet, guess what I said? I said, take 3 dozen packets. I told her. She said, all your tooth will be gone. So when you are given, you want more. And when she says no, we become angry. So you can see that there's lust, anger, greed. So proprietorship is equivalent to which one? Greed. And controllership? Controllership is matching with which one? Anger. Why anger? Durvasa Muni tried to control Ambarish, correct? He was angry. So angry people tried to control. Hiranyakashipu tried to control Prahlad, like that. That's controllership. And enjoyership matches with lust. So these three are called as gateways to hell. Because of these three impurities only, we are all stuck in the material world. And these three impurities can be easily purified when you chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Krishna is saying, take shelter of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, we start this mantra with Hare. Hare is Radharani. Oh, Srimati Radharani, Supreme Mother. Oh, Krishna, all attractive. Oh, Rama, one who gives great bliss to his devotees. Please purify my heart. Please pick me up. Please accept me. In one letter, Prabhupada says, meaning of the Maha Mantra is, purify me, uplift me, accept me. That's all I want. I don't want anything from you. I am not coming to you demanding anything. I simply want you to accept me as one of the millions of devotees in your lotus feet. Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Oh, son of Nanda, Krishna, somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up and place me as one of the millions of devotees at your lotus feet and engage me in your eternal devotional service. And I do not want anything else. That's all I need. So this is the mood in which we should chant this name. And when we utter the name Hare Krishna, immediately Radha and Krishna are right in front of us. Just like he sings, Aha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Yuta Karuna Koro Hei Baro. So Narottama Das is singing that when I chant Hare Krishna, Radha, divine couple are present and they are hearing us, they are blessing us, they are accepting us, and we become a part of the spiritual world by chanting this name. So my humble request to all the assembled visitors to the temple today, some of you are already senior devotees, some of you are newly coming to the temple. You just practice these 4 things in your life and you will be following this verse, you are getting the shelter of the divine Devi, Srimati Radharani. And then the material Devi, Durga, will give you relief from this world. She will send you out and then you will go back to Godhead. So, first is very simple thing. Just as you have come today, at least once in a week you visit the temple. That is association. Association is very important. Because when you come and hear the message from the scriptures and then associate with other devotees, you develop a great spiritual thirst and quest, you grow very nicely. So, just like for example, if you put an iron rod in fire, it becomes fiery. Similarly, coming to temple and meeting devotees, taking darshan, taking prasad, you'll become fiery in your spirit, spiritual spirit. Okay. Secondly, B for Bhagavad Gita. Just read 1 page a day in 5 minutes. You don't have to worry too much. Don't think book is very bulky. I am only requesting you how many pages? 1 page a day, 5 minutes. And that is B. And C for chanting Hare Krishna. Take a japa beads from here. It's a very powerful method of purging the impurities in the mind and also calming the mind. Your mind will become calm, cool, collected and focused and concentrated. And you can do everything with clarity in life. Many people bring their problems. They say that, like one man was talking to me, 2 hours his problems. I told him, can you chant 1 round of Mahamantra? He said, where is time? I said, no, just now you have spent 2 hours now. So much time you have. So just I am requesting 10 minutes from you. In this beads, 108 beads to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. So this 3rd one. And 4th one is very easy. Without even telling people, do it. That is devotional diet. Prasada. So A for, B for, C for, D for, that's all. And of course you can do the E also. E is engagement in seva. Can do some service. So this ABCD you do, you will get shelter of the divine energy. And this temple is actually extension of the spiritual world. So you come to the right place. This verse applies because you are going to follow this verse by doing this ABCD, and your life will become very sublime, truly joyful. You can rise above the more you are in material energy, you feel the prick and pain of the material energy. Durga is pricking you with the Trishul. You come to the ABCD divine platform, you can experience a spiritual bliss. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki Jai. 3 minutes, I can take one question?
Yes.
3 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. I can take one question, 3 minutes. Anybody? There's a hand.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that the Lord knows best what to give, what not to give. There is no need to ask. But often, even after hearing this, and so many times, the heart still asks.
Because we think probably Lord may not be aware. Our mind thinks like that. Better inform Him. We think like that. Actually, if you at all have to ask, we can ask Him, please destroy the impurities in my heart. Like Prahlad said, Kāmānam hridi asamroham bhavatastu vrinevaram. Okay, my dear Lord Narasimha, you really want to give me something? Give me one benediction. Destroy all the impurities in my heart. Like that he prayed. You can pray like that. Or you can pray like Pṛthā Maharaj. You know what Pṛthā Maharaj prayed? When Lord asked Pṛthā, what do you want? He said, my dear Lord, I am afraid to ask you for anything because I may ask you something which I am attached to, but which can be very harmful to me. Therefore, I will request you a benediction that you become like you are already like my father. A father knows what is good for the son. Similarly, you know, whatever you think is good for me, that you give me. Like that he said. Smart, no? Very smart request. Because he put it on the Lord only. Similarly, Kardamani wanted, actually Kardamani was facing in his mind a tug of war. What is it? He wants to be a renunciate. But he has his father Brahma who wanted him to become a progenitor of mankind and beget children. So what he did? He told the Lord that actually I have to please my father also, and I also want to be renounced also. So he said, I will marry, but I will only marry a girl whom you give, he said. Lord said, very smart fellow. He has put it on me. So Lord gave him the daughter of Swayambhava, Devahuti. He told him, 3rd day from today she will come with the parents and then you will marry her. So these are intelligent devotees who did not go to any demigod for asking anything, or they didn't make their own decision, they put it on the Lord. Dhruva Maharaj went with some material desire, but he got purified. So why we read Bhagavatam? Because we understand that material desires will cause us misery. And we don't want to increase our term in the material world. We want to go back to the Lord. Therefore we leave it to Him. He knows what is best for us. In case you really have to ask, you tell Krishna that if you are going to give me a material benediction, give me the intelligence to use it properly. At least that much you can ask, isn't it? Yeah, thank you. Prabhupada ki